Hey everybody, this is Kairos with a Jungle Concepts jungle guide. Today we're focusing on basic pathing. So this video will primarily be for lower elo junglers to just maximize farming efficiency and to kind of have some concept of where to go, how to path, and some of the decision making around that. This is not on first clears, so first clears are kind of unique. I'll be doing a separate video in the future on first clears, and then also I'll be doing a separate video on advanced pathing. So that will cover more of the exceptions to the rules, some other concepts for the next level of pathing later on, kind of for platinum and up players. But these concepts, if implemented, should get any jungler or should give all the pathing information you need to get up to that gold level at least, if you get the foundation set. So we'll just get right into it. First part of basic pathing principles is to go to where you have camps. Um, and you can do some things to make this easier for yourself, and that is to clear in quadrants. So when I talk about clearing quadrants, there are four quadrants on the map. And so you have your blue side. Blue side is the bottom of the map. So you have your blue side top and your blue side bottom quadrant. Then you have your red side top, red side bottom quadrant. And so those are the four quadrants that I'm talking about. And so we'll just, for the sake of this, assume that we're playing on the blue side for all of our examples. So this jungler right here will have either the top quadrant or the bottom quadrant to look at. And so if you have camps um, here, 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 then you only have two camps over here. Basically, this rule says go to where you have camps. You have three camps on the top side, so you know that you're going to this half of the map. You're going to the top quadrant. This is to maximize farm and make sure that you're getting as much as possible. And then clearing in quadrants means that you, wherever possible, want to clear out all of these camps at the same time, because that way, when they respawn again, they will be coming back up at the same time. And so it's ongoing efficiency that you've built into your clear. If you go up here and you clear this camp and you clear this camp, and then you come up and you gank top, but you leave this camp up, and then you have to recall, so you come back to base and you come back out onto the bottom side of the map, then these spawn timers are going to be staggered. So you might clear down here, come up, clear this camp, and then this camp spawns 30 seconds later. And so you aren't getting the maximum efficiency. And so that is why it's best to clear in quadrants. And so if you're going to clear your top side, try to clear both of the camps that are here and the buff if it's available. That way they will be respawning at the same time, and you can maximize your time when you do commit to that side of the map. Okay, so that is the first concept. Go to where you have camps up already and clear in quadrants. And then another thing that kind of falls in this line um, is to clear in straight lines. So that's kind of easy to do if you're clearing in quadrants. So that means that you don't want to come out into topside if you've already decided that's what you're going to do, and clear here and then walk up to your gromp and then come over to the blue buff, because that is a triangle. And so this efficiency is, or the amount of time that you spend walking is much more than if you just go from here, here, here. And that's much more like a straight line than a triangle. And so you save time there. And this may seem kind of um, overdone, like who cares if you spend an extra 4 seconds walking, but 4 seconds makes a really big difference. If you're 4 seconds late coming up here and they're ganking your top laner who's overextended, then 4 seconds could be the difference between you coming, turning the fight and getting a double kill and pushing and getting turret plates, or he gets killed, you come in late, they kill you also, and then they have a 2-kill swing. So that's a potential 4-kill swing plus plates that you could lose out on from 4 seconds or even from 2 seconds. So small margins are important in jungle. So saving a second here, a second there really does add up. Okay, second concept is pathing towards your win cons or your objectives. So we'll say that your bot lane is pretty far ahead. They're pushing up the lane, and you think that their jungler is going to be like, you see that his blue buff is spawning, and so you expect that their jungler is going to be on bot side. And then your bot lane is pushed. They are vulnerable to a gank here, or they will be in the near future. And so what you want to do as the jungler here, you say, this is my win condition. What I need to do is I need to path towards them. I need to path towards them, or maybe there's a Drake up. There's something on the bottom side of the map that you want to be there for. And so this means that you're going to path towards your bottom side. And so let's say you have all your camps up, all your small camps up. That means you want to be on the bottom side. So you're heading to this quadrant. So you selected your quadrant that you want to be on, and now you want to path in a straight line to your bottom side. And so some of this depends on how much time you have. If you have time, you'll come out, you'll farm this so that they're on a similar timer that you've cleared them and synced them. So you clear them at the same time, they'll spawn at the same time, and then you come out and you can have presence on the bot side for when their jungler comes down. You can meet them, kind of scare them away. You could potentially collapse with your laners and kill them in the jungle, take the Drake. But basically, the thought process is I want to be on the bottom side. So that means I want to be on the bottom quadrant if I have camps there, and then I'm going to come out, take as many camps as I can, and get out onto the map and support this lane. If it's a little bit more time sensitive, so if you don't have enough time to take both camps, then you might this might be a scenario where you just take one camp, you take Krugs, pull them this way a little bit so that you're able to support. You're in close proximity. But that is what I mean by pathing to objectives. For another example of that, we'll just say that Rift Herald is spawning, and you wanna go take that because your top laner is really fed. He's far ahead, and you want to play around that. So you want to get the Rift Herald and get there. Let's say that you have bot camps and you don't have top camps. We'll say that just for this example, you don't have top camps, you do have bottom camps. So how would you path in this situation? Give you a second to think about it. So here, using the concept of go to where you have camps, bot quadrant. Second, clear in quadrants. You want to clear both of these if you have time, and then clear in lines. So you clear here, here, and that way your momentum takes you up towards the herald. If you're playing towards bot, you would do the opposite, and you would clear here, here, and then get out onto the bottom of the map. So you're clearing towards your objective that you want to focus on. Hope that makes sense. All right, next concept that we're on to. Trying to get this eraser to work. Okay, so third, don't path into corners. That's kind of a reflection of what we talked about earlier. So pathing into corners is where you come out of the jungle and you take your wolves and then you take your Gromp and then you're stuck here. So from this position, when you finish your Gromp, the only lane that you can impact immediately is top lane. This is the only option that you have. And so you've pathed into a corner of the map. We'll just call this is a corner. And that's the only part of the map that you can influence, which can be really bad. If your laner has recalled and he's back in base and their top laner is back in base, there's literally nothing to do in top lane. And so you've limited yourself and you've basically killed your tempo. You're stuck in top lane with nothing to do. And so that's pathing into a corner. And that the only time that is good to path into corner is if you have a preset plan. Let's say your top laner is coming back into lane. He just got a really good recall. He has a power spike. Their top laner is right here trying to crash a really big wave. So he wants to get this into turret so he can reset. That is where it's okay to path into a corner. So you would come up here, and then you would try to kill this guy before he can get that recall off while your top laner is still strong. Before this wave crashes, ideally, so that he doesn't lose out on farm. So you can only path into a corner if you have a plan already preset. If you don't have a plan preset, always path to the middle. If you don't know where you should be, which is okay, it's fine not to know, path to the middle of the map because that's away from the corners. So that might be pathing Gromp, blue, wolves into the middle, and you're in close proximity, or it might be Krugs, red, raptors into the middle. But from here, you can impact anything on the map. You could go to the bottom side. You could go to the top side. You could contest either of their sides of the jungle. You could contest either objective. So pathing into the middle of the map is ideal if you aren't sure of where you want to go. It just opens up the most opportunities, the most options. So be okay. Like when in doubt, path to the middle. Just path to the middle. It's very forgiving. Okay, and then next, I think that another concept is there's a lot of champion specifics, and so this isn't something that I'm going to cover. Is champion specific clearing. So go find a guide or a high elo player that plays your champion and look at how they're kiting camps. Look at how they pull their camp to the next camp as they're fighting it and as they're killing it, so that you can cut off a few seconds here and there. As I mentioned before, they really add up. Also, how to kill each camp differently, especially AoE camps like krugs and raptors have a lot of skill expression that you can shave off a lot of seconds and save a lot of health if you know how to kite these properly. If you don't know how to kite, or if you don't know how to kill them properly with your auto attacks and your abilities and what to do, then you'll end up losing a lot of health, losing a lot of time, and overall coming out worse for wear on these camps on specific champions. So become familiar with how you're supposed to clear these to maximize your health and your time. And then if once you watch the guides or the pros or whoever you're watching, go into practice tool and just try to emulate it. Go here and see if it takes them 10 auto attacks and 4 abilities to clear the wolves, and it takes you 15 auto attacks and 7 abilities, then figure out how to cut those numbers down, because the efficiency will pay off. It'll save you time, and you'll see a lot of gains on how fast you can get around the map and how healthily you can clear the jungle. So try to emulate what they're doing and judge that based on how healthy you are, how quickly you can do it, how much mana and how many abilities you use. And so just try to get as efficient as possible. Use the practice tool. Okay, that is pretty much all that I have for this guide. Hope to see you next time when I do the advanced pathing guide. Let me know if there's any other content that you would like to see, and have a good one.
This is the boy I am.